Hello everyone. Jupiter is turning retrograde now on 28th of July until 23rd of November of 2022, and this is the celestial event that I want to discuss with you. It is important, but it is also benevolent because of the nature of Jupiter. Before that, I still would like to invite you to my webinar, which is happening today, this evening, European time evening, and it is on the 23rd, it is day, American time, but you can see the details under this video. It is a webinar on the basics of the ancient astrology. It is actually covering very important basics, fundamentals of astrology. So you can still join if you like, or you can see it as a recording. Now, what is happening with Jupiter? First of all, because of his nature, mythologically, his nature is also benevolent. This is God Marduk, who is the one that, according to the mythological story, saved the humanity from the chaos, from Tiamat. So he's considered to be a friend of people, and also we know how good Jupiter is. We also know that on 18th of April of 2022, Jupiter entered sidereal Pisces to stay there 1 year. So Jupiter is turning retrograde in Pisces, where in conjunction the star Algenip, see, I forgot the name. So he is going to turn retrograde in this star. What is the nature of this star? This is a star which has nature of conjunction of Mars and Mercury, considered not necessarily very benevolent. In a way, when Jupiter makes conjunction with such star, like emphasizing on this star when retrograding, this is not entirely, of course, benevolent. It can trigger these events which we hear, conflicts, the truth being revealed more and more to us, certainly the awakening. Later on, he continues his transit and he turns direct on a very important point, like very karmic. This will trigger the additional karmic event with benevolent nature. Now, look on the sky, not everything is benevolent. We certainly still have the karmic work of Saturn in sidereal Capricorn. But when Jupiter will turn direct on the 23rd around, because he has stationary days, around the 23rd of November, this is happening in the 4 degrees of Pisces. And here comes the important point, because this is the point of the spring, the vernal equinox. Super important point. This is the point where when the moon appears for the first time for the year, we are celebrating a Akitu festival, the new year. This is, and we look at the sky on this day, and whatever we see how the year would look like further. So this is what is happening. So this is a point of a great importance. This is the point of the vernal equinox, the point of our era, the point which describes the human race of our era, describes the events, just everything. And Jupiter is turning direct there. How we can read that? Well, he is the ruler of Pisces, meaning that he certainly has the most of powers and gives the most of powers to this point, the point of the vernal equinox. So certainly this will trigger the awakening. Hopefully this will help us as a human race to go easier to the karmic events, which are very Saturn and Plutonian, if you want, and which are taking place now. But I see this as emphasizing, of course, on the era, on the people, I know this may sound already as a cliche, this awakening, but this is what is happening. And this is what may save us from difficulties. The more critical mass of people are awakening, connecting with nature, um, the better for our future. So I see this as a hope, as something indeed good, Jupiter turning direct in the point of the vernal equinox, but I see it also as, trigger of, uh, because also this is happening straight after the two eclipses. You all know you have one eclipse on the 25th of October and then one on the 8th of November. So this will trigger a bit, the eclipses. However, retrograde motion of Jupiter for these coming months is benevolent for sure. And after that, this can speed the processes, which will happen to the world, which will be triggered after the eclipses, which will be related to still not end of the economic crisis. And yeah, this star can show further conflicts, the viewing of the truth, not yet end of the war, of course. So basically, this is what it is. If you have Pisces on key position in your horoscope, if you have Jupiter, who is Almuten in your horoscope, of the most important planet, you will feel this, and not in a bad way. Good. Certainly, this can even be positive for you financially. And I forgot to mention, while Jupiter is in Pisces, of course, this is good because he then is creating harmonious aspect to Saturn, so he's certainly softening the uh, effects of the Saturn in transit in Capricorn. So this, I hope, sounded a bit like a good news to you. Of course, it's in our hands, these are only, how to say, uh, opportunities, and with knowledge we can benefit to know for our spiritual work, awakening, so that we go through this a bit challenging timing that we are in now with wisdom and just better. So see you very soon. All the best.